If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, I want you, morning wood.
Rise and shine. Happy Devil's Saturday. This is The Morning Woo, coming to you live from inside the bunker, undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. Very cold this morning outside, 2 degrees. I think it's warmed up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Freezing my butt off on this episode, the 119 straight days of The Morning Woo. Talking Devils hockey normally, but today we're going to talk about a different issue. Devils related, but a more serious issue about what transpired last night. Article in the Philadelphia Inquirer about Devils owner Joshua Harris. Stuff that I don't like to be talking about. Stuff that's non-hockey related, but it relates to you, the fans. As you can tell, the title of this podcast is Devils fans need more transparency out of Joshua Harris. If you don't know, the headline in the Philadelphia Inquirer says, new Epstein files show years of email exchanges with Sixers co-owner Josh Harris, also New Jersey Devils owner, also Washington Commanders owner of a lot of things, a lot of teams. But we need to hear from Joshua Harris, because in this article, it states that, there were it was basically an email dump by the Department of Justice, because the United States Congress wanted full transparency and all the Epstein files to be released. In it, Joshua Harris, amongst others, to be fair, had some kind of relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And again, I'm going to preface this on this podcast. We do not rush to judgment. and you're innocent until proven guilty. I want to make that absolutely abundantly clear. Because why I'm hesitant here is because as a Devil season ticket holder, I do not want to see any of the owners have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not saying that he had an appropriate relationship. I'm not saying there's any crime here. But what I do want to see is an actual public statement directly from Joshua Harris, just like what happened with the New York Football Giants co-owner, Steve Tisch, who released a statement yesterday. This being, the typical Friday, 5 p.m. bombshell that happens when no one's looking. But the Giants co-owner, Steve Tisch, and I don't want to get into details, but apparently he had some involvement with Jeffrey Epstein in terms of email exchanges and maybe some phone calls. But he put out a statement almost immediately stating, "We had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, and in addition, we discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments. I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with." He made a public statement to the New York Football Giants fans, season ticket holders, and all. But later in the article on ESPN, it also, because Joshua Harris is the owner of the Washington Commanders, so it's football related. On ESPN.com, it says Josh Harris, who owns the Washington Commanders, Philadelphia 76ers, and New Jersey Devils, also appeared in the files. But the correspondence was through assistants and was about Epstein wanting to arrange business meetings when Harris was at Apollo Global Management. It says Josh Harris never had an independent relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a spokesman for Harris said. Harris sought to prevent Epstein's attempts to develop a corporate relationship with Apollo, which has actually, in fairness, has been well documented. As these emails indicate, Harris sought to avoid meeting with Epstein, canceling meetings, and having others return his calls. But see, that's where it causes confusion. Number one, the statement did not come from Joshua Harris. And if you've read the article in the Philadelphia Inquirer, it states all that about reconfirming a meeting with Jeffrey Epstein at his home and all this kind of stuff. But what gets confusing about what the spokesman was saying is that in this article, it said that he was emailing directly with Jeffrey Epstein. "Sorry I missed you. Crazy week," Harris wrote to Epstein in November 2014, which is after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2008. "You're around any time from now to Sunday? What's this Bill Gates thing about? Thanks for thinking about me." Epstein writes back, "I thought you might like to schmooze. Nothing but fun Friday, 5th breakfast." The article writes that meeting does appear to have taken place based on subsequent emails with Harris in attendance. "Did you have fun at breakfast?" Epstein wrote to Harris about a week after the meeting was scheduled to take place. "Yes, very much," he responded. "Thank you for inviting me." See, that's where we need clarifications on this, because when the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group bought the New Jersey Devils, and if you remember that first regular season game, they took away the goal song, the Gary Glitter goal song, for those type of reasons. I don't need to explain. And they came off as family entertainment. You know, they came off and portrayed themselves as taking the high moral ground and yada, yada, yada. Well, this doesn't make me feel good when your name is associated with Jeffrey Epstein in these document dumps. And I'm not saying that Joshua Harris is guilty of anything or guilty with association, that kind of stuff. But we need to have a clean-cut public statement from Joshua Harris, because guess what's happening right now with the New Jersey Devils? We have something that's called season ticket renewals. And as a lot of you are fed up with the Devils, with the on-ice product, this off-ice product, or this off-ice shenanigans, is much, 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 much deeply more important from a moral standpoint than what's going on the ice with the New Jersey Devils. And I've made it clear from day one on this podcast, on episode 1 to now, that everybody asks me, what's the Devils' problems? Why can't they win? Blah, 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 blah. I've said it all along. It's ownership. It always has been ownership. So, Devils fans deserve an explanation, just like how Steve Tisch of the New York Football Giants immediately responded, immediately made a personal statement to the fans, clarifying exactly what has happened. But a Harris spokesman in the article on ESPN.com, that doesn't cut it for me. Nope. It does not cut it for me. I want a statement. I want to hear from the horse's mouth, because this is a very, very serious situation here. And it may be not that serious. It could be just, again, in the New York finance world, it's a very small world. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's doing business with each other. I get it. But when you find your owner's name associated in emails with Jeffrey Epstein, who is a monster, I want to know. I just want to know before I put my dollars and cents and renew season tickets. I want to make sure that the organization has that high moral standard that they put right from the beginning when they bought the team, that's what we're paying for. You want to talk about family entertainment? It starts from the top. And you should be transparent. And as of now, 11:23 a.m. Eastern, I have yet to see any kind of public statement coming from Joshua Harris. And I think he needs to clean this up immediately before it gets out of control. I see some that are commenting in the YouTube live. See Select a Boy. See Roman saying, turns out Josh Harris is actually the devil. Lupus Not Is. Happy Devil Saturday. Dubzilla, happy Devil Saturday to you. Lupus Not Is. Maria, happy Devil Saturday to you. Great hockey weather. Oh, yeah, it's freezing. I mean, the Penn State Nittany Lions are having their outdoor game today at Beaver Stadium. Absolutely freezing out in State College. Can't wait to watch that at 1 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. Roman says Tish's lawyer works faster than Harris's. I mean, you got to get on top of that. You can't just let that just slide. You know, the Philadelphia Inquirer, great journalism on their part by spotting this. You know, and it's a very complex issue, no doubt, because those that don't know, Joshua Harris was part of a massive hedge fund group called Apollo Global Management. His partner at the time, no longer, Leon Black, had ties with Jeffrey Epstein. He claims that he was getting some financial tax planning through Jeffrey Epstein, paid him $153 million for his services. Again, I'm not rushing to judgment. I'm just stating facts. And, you know, according to the New York Post, that Joshua Harris and his other partner, Mark Rowan, did not really want to get involved with Epstein. You know, according to the New York Post. But then eventually Leon Black resigned. But instead of picking Joshua Harris to lead Apollo Global Management back in 2021, he picked his other partner, Mark Rowan, even though Joshua Harris was running operations. Joshua Harris appeared to be pissed, like anybody would, and said, okay, well, I quit and I'll run my sports team. See you later. But again, this is all because of Jeffrey Epstein, apparently. I would like to get some clarification. I would like to know that ownership would be transparent with the fans, because honestly, I like to keep it devil's hockey. I like to keep it about on the ice. But I'm telling you, these distractions off the ice are part of the reason why this team isn't winning. You talk about culture, because, you know, when the Devils when Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment first bought the New Jersey Devils, there's two things they said in that initial introduction to the fans. That they wanted to be, quote, unquote, good stewards of this franchise after winning 3 Stanley Cups. And they wanted to build a culture. Again, that C word, culture, amongst the organization. And what we're finding out is those are just words. It may look good. It may sound great. But right now, the culture is not there. And it shows on the ice. The product on the ice. Dubzilla says, how do we get the message across, Sam? What can we as fans do down here? Look, I've been on record on saying, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, I don't believe in protesting. Okay, I'm not saying boycott, whatever. But the next time I talk to my season ticket rep, I'm going to ask her, why hasn't Joshua Harris made any kind of public statement about this? This is a serious issue. If you want me to have you guys swipe my credit card, I want to know. I deserve to know. Just like anybody else. If you purchase anything, you want to make sure that the company you're purchasing it from, or the people you're purchasing it from, are good people. And that's how Joshua Harris and David Blitzer, that's how they portray themselves when they first bought the team, that they're good people. You got the Devil's Youth Foundation. You've got, all of the charities that go, in Newark, and all of the, all that public relations stuff, the players visiting kids in the hospitals and all that kind of stuff. I mean, those are all good things, no doubt. But this is a serious issue here. It's a moral issue for me. And I can only speak for myself. Some people don't care, and that's your prerogative. But I just found that this ownership group has always been the problem. The reason why the on ice sucks. But this is a totally different issue. So you remove the irony here is you remove the old goal song because Garrett Glitter was a pedophile. Fine. But now we're finding out that you've had correspondence with a pedophile, a very, very well-known pedophile in Jeffrey Epstein. You got to clear this up immediately. Just like how you immediately yanked the goal song away from the Devils fans. You want to call this family entertainment? Well, you have to explain yourself because the Philadelphia Inquirer has put some stuff out there, and I have some questions about it, but clarification from Joshua Harris will go a long way if I'm going to part ways with my money to you. This goes more than the New Jersey Devils for me. It's a moral thing. It's a character thing. And I don't want some prepared lawyer statement. No, I want to hear from the horse's mouth, Joshua Harris. I mean, this New Jersey Devils organization for many years was like a family-run business, starting with Dr. McMullen, John McMullen. If you remember, as season ticket holders, we would get letters from McMullen. If the team's doing well, if the team's not, you would get letters, signed letters from Lou Lamoriello, especially during the lockout. The Vanderbeek years, it still felt like a family-run business, even though it was a little bit more corporate. But right now, Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment, it's all corporate. It's all business. It's kind of what Roman says, like a soulless entity. Soulless entity? But I thought this was all about culture. Where's the culture here? Where's the transparency here? Again, it's all a line of BS that we've been fed for so long. But Devils need much more transparency from Joshua Harris. I hope that this podcast does not age well before I put it up on all of our podcast pages. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Prime, Audible, and on the iHeart app, and on YouTube, at Let's Go Devils, on X, at Let's Go Devils Pod, and on Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook, at Let's Go Devils Podcast. But really, I want to know. I want to know your email correspondence. I want clarity that nothing happened, because I'm a true believer you're innocent till proven guilty. So I'm giving Joshua Harris the benefit of the doubt, but the longer this goes unanswered, it makes me wonder. Again, timing is everything. Immediately, the Giants owner, co-owner, Steve Tisch, put out a statement. And it was kind of like, in that article on ESPN.com, it was kind of like a blurb what a spokesman said for Joshua Harris. No, it needs to come from Joshua Harris. It needs to come from Joshua Harris. Gears of John says, here's my professional opinion. The culture begins and ends with the players. They slapped C on Heischer too young. That was mistake number one. Fitz cheated the rebuild after the first taste of. The players did not slap the C on Nico Heischer. It was upper management. It's from upper management. And that's where the problem is. Because if it came from the players, would they have voted for Nico Hischier? Not sure. At the time, he was really young to be a captain. Not saying it's not impossible, but again, the way the Devils run their organization, it's in a lot of ways, it's just not normal. Gears of John, he's asking, what can you say what Joshua Harris did in the Epstein files? It's in the Philadelphia Inquirer. There's an article there. It showed that there were meetings that were trying to be set up between Epstein and his Joshua Harris and his associates. Okay, there's no wrongdoing there, but what I want is clarification about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, just like Steve Tish's with the New York Football Giants. And, you know, if the Devils, when Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment bought the team, they went on this moral high ground about this being family entertainment, yada, 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 yada. And now your name associated with Jeffrey Epstein. I think you need to talk to the fans and set the record straight instead of having a spokesman do it for you. Because you should follow the lead of the New York Football Giants owner. Immediately put a statement out there. Squash and squelch all the ones that, you know, are thinking where there's smoke, there's fire. Tom says, we have politically correct management that doesn't inspire men to greatness. That's a very interesting statement. Very well said, actually. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to make this point out. Thank you for reminding me. Mike Rose is right. The state would have to make public the Devils' assets after a lengthy court battle turned the Devils into a Green Bay-like organization. Yeah, well, how about that $300 million that the New Jersey Devils are seeking for state subsidies to renovate the Prudential Center? Again, I think that money needs to be on hold till Joshua Harris explains what his relationship was with Jeffrey Epstein. And all it takes is 5 minutes to put a statement out there directly from the horse's mouth, and I would be satisfied. I'm surprised I haven't even heard it. I haven't seen anything yet. Again, I hope this podcast will not age well. I hope to hear something from Joshua Harris as soon as possible. But $300 million you want in state subsidies, and you're doing millions, billions of dollars of deals from your old day job. You bought the Washington Commanders and all that kind of good stuff. Again, at the end of the day, we're all little guys here. Maybe we just don't understand. What do we know? Maybe we just don't understand, maybe we just don't understand how things really work, I guess. But the one thing I do understand is integrity. And if something out there that's in the newspapers or on digital that's associating you with Jeffrey Epstein, you have to explain yourself. And that's all I have to say. Well, I want to thank all those tuning in to this Morning Woo. Dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes. We've got Game Day Live and Devils After Dark after the game as Devils take on the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa in the Canada's nation capital. But yeah. And let's do the ceremonial sip. Hopefully I don't have to do these off the ice issues ever again. To transparency and to integrity. Let's hope that we hear from Joshua Harris and put this to bed immediately. Because a lot of us have decisions to make about renewing season tickets. The on ice, I'm questioning. But now I'm questioning the off ice about this Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment. Let's just put this to bed, please. So I salute you, the fans, that have that integrity for family entertainment. That felt good. Till next time, this is the Morning Woo. Let's go, Devils.